After a year of working in my garage, it's time to finally add a bit of climate control with this Everwell 12,000 BTU 17 SEER unit. This is a relatively efficient heat pump unit that does both heating and cooling. This particular unit runs off of 110 volts, so it can be used with a traditional home outlet if the wiring is the proper gauge at least. The top box here contains the head unit that actually has the fan and evaporator in it. Inside of the box with it is the wiring harness that goes from the head unit to the shutoff box, the wire that goes from the shutoff box to the main unit, the instruction manual, rubber dampers that go under the main unit, the remote, and the remote holder. The bottom box, which doesn't actually need to be cut open as it actually just slides up over the unit, contains the outside unit, the copper lines, and the drain hose. With the head unit opened and the styrofoam removed, we want to go ahead and flip it over and remove the metal mounting bracket so we can put that up on the wall. Now, the head units are actually pretty light, so they can be mounted into drywall with the supplied anchors that I'm just kind of throwing away over here, as I don't have drywall. When it comes to installing any hefty objects on a wall though, always make sure you hit at least one stud with it, so you know you have a very secure surface for it to connect to. After that, if you want to toss out the rest of the mount into drywall with anchors, have at it, it should be fine. My biggest complaint with this unit is that the mounting bracket is less than 16 inches wide, so there's no possible way to have it attach across two studs as they're 16 inches on center in standard buildings. Fortunately though, it is light enough that it's not an issue. It's just my preference to mount into studs whenever possible. When it comes to having the plumbing for the unit go through the wall, you'll want to have it go through a sleeve of some sort. Add a leftover sleeve from another unit, but I also have used 3-inch PVC pipes in the past that I cut to go through the wall as a sleeve as well. When drilling the hole and putting the sleeve in, make sure to angle the sleeve down a few degrees so the drain line is not sitting flat, or even worse, up a hill, which would prevent the condensation from flowing out and cause issues. If you have one of the sleeves that are designed for this, they'll have marks for where to cut the sleeve so it fits any size wall cavity. Ideally, you should use a utility knife for this, not this style of snap-off blades as it, well, snaps. But this is what was by my foot, so I grabbed it. On the back of the unit, you'll find the copper connection lines and the drain hose. Carefully bend the copper lines away from the unit to where you want them to go, making sure not to pinch or crimp the lines. The copper lines can go out the back, left side, or the right side, utilizing a punch out on the side of the unit. With the copper lines and drain lines pointed where you want them, it's time to lift the unit up and put it up on the wall. Carefully guide the copper pipes and drain line through the hole you put into the wall and slide the unit onto the wall bracket. They typically have a slot they slide into at the top and then latch on at the bottom of the unit. Go ahead and remove your cellophane and double check to make sure your filters are in place. Next up, we need to add the power wire to the head unit to go through the same hole. You could also install this before putting the unit up, but for me it's just easier to do it once it's on the wall. Go ahead and remove the screw that holds the control panel cover on and grab the power wire supplied with the unit. Feed the wire through the head unit, through the hole in the back of it, and into the hole we have in the wall for the copper lines and drain line. Having a second set of hands would be nice for this, to have one person feed the line through and the other person pulling it from the other side for you. Once you have some of the wire fed through the wall, you'll want to go ahead and connect the wire to the main board to make sure you don't pull it all the way through on accident. The wires are labeled for easy connection, so just match them up with their respective numbers on the main board: 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, and ground to ground. Once all 4 wires are connected, go ahead and reconnect the wire clamp to hold the wire in place, and then put the panel cover back on. And that's where we're going to end this current video. As you can see, as it plays out in the background, there is still a lot left. Unedited, it's over an hour of content alone, so it will be a separate video, and then eventually a third video where both parts will be combined. As always, if you like the content I'm putting out, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all new content as it comes out. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.